And what is going on, guys? It is Blake back finally at long last with G-SYNCH episode 3. Man, it has been a long couple of months. Like a very, very, very decent long couple of months. Which is funny because I almost thought this was episode 4. I could have sworn to God that I did a third episode, an episode between before Christmas and now, but apparently apparently I haven't. I think I might have just imagined myself having done a third episode, but here we are, episode 3 officially, formally, finally back, finally here. Hopefully to stay. Man, commitment is hard. Commitment is difficult. But no, we're finally back. Got a lot of stuff to talk about today, actually. This is gonna be yet another solo dolo episode. We are quickly counting down. We're quickly counting down on the amount of episodes left that are going to be solo dolo. In terms of just me being here, just me talking. I'm not going to go into all of the other plans and stuff that I said I had in store for future episodes, especially when season 1 kicks off. You can go back and listen to the first episode. I think I went over a lot of the stuff that I'm aiming for when I officially start season 1. But overall, I mean, this whole just me being here, just me talking was never meant to be a permanent sort of thing. It's only temporary, and we're gonna be spicing things up more and more as we move into season 1 pretty soon here, which I actually wanted to talk about right off the bat. Oh, you have to excuse me today. My for some reason my voice is already on its last vocal strings, and I haven't even really been talking that much today. I haven't even streamed yet, which is crazy. But I did want to talk a little bit about season 1. Just what I'm currently looking at being the official start period. As of now, where things stand right now, assuming I'm able to get out an episode every single week this month. It is March 3rd. We just kicked off March. Finally, it feels like, I mean, I can't really say that I'm excited. I'm a winter person. I live for September through, I mean, essentially I live for September through December. But I guess January and February are honorary mentions, but I basically live for the fall and winter, and once it starts to dwindle down, I'm just not feeling it. I am not a spring person at all. I'm just not. I'm the furthest thing from a spring person, but despite that, so I am looking at April 2023 this year to be the official start for season 1. Which will finally bring in the video format for the podcast, which is gonna hopefully finally bring in our guests and our co-hosts and all that stuff. I mentioned rotating co-hosts in the past. Like I said, all that stuff I brought up during episode 1, so you can go back and listen to that and just peep all the stuff that I have in store and I'm planning for once we officially kick this thing off. But right now, the focus is getting an episode out every single week this month. Maybe doing a bonus episode here or there, depending on, if there's some crazy news throughout the week that drops that I just want to, spend time covering in its entirety. But really, that's what game chat videos are supposed to be for. I'm supposed to also be keeping up to date with those on my YouTube channel. Just sort of like a video series that's just supposed to be weekly and centering around a rather big topic in gaming for the week. So I feel like doing a podcast episode on that said topic when it could be used for a game chat video is just, I don't know, like I'm kind of taking away the attention from that when I should be doing those. I also haven't done one of those in a while. dang, it's been a really long time. I feel like I used to be really good at commentary, editorial sort of stuff, but now it's just I'm so rusty. It's just I'd rather just rant. Organized thought is like not something that I can do anymore. We gotta practice. Anyway, so yeah, season 1, April is what I'm looking at. So this will always be available in audio format only. As a matter of fact, the audio format only will always be the first to go up. The video formats will follow. That is until I start doing things live, and then at that point, video format will obviously be first. But I kind of do also want to look at a way of just simultaneously doing both. I guess it's possible to do audio and video at once, like broadcasting audio and video to like 2 different platforms. I think that's kind of stupid. Honestly, I think that's just a really dumb decision, because I would be streaming this on Twitch. Even on Twitch, you have the option to just toggle a player to be audio only. So, seems a little pointless. Anyway, so yeah, April. That should be a good time. Really looking forward to it. But we got to get through March. We gotta push these out and make sure we stay consistent for the rest of the month. So I don't want to spend too much time talking on that. That means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more episodes for this month, and then yeah, I mean we'll be at episode 7. I may wait until we hit episode 10 before I do season 1, but I didn't specify in April, so I guess that gives me some leg room. But I feel like just ending season 0 on episode 7 would be kind of weird. We'll see. We got time to fully decide. And man, I still have so much stuff that needs to be ready before April. and I'm supposed to start traveling in this month. It's gonna be a crazy month. But anyway, I think that's pretty much it for introductions. I'm back from my hiatus. April 2023. We're kicking this thing off for real. Let's get into some news. Because to be very honest, I don't really have a central topic for this week. And the reason for that is because there's just been so much that has happened this week as well as last week that I want to touch on, that I want to get into. And this is just going to be like a whole blob of just stuff that has been happening. But I guess I can start with some of the more fresh stuff first. Because some of this other stuff, especially some of the stuff that happened last week, I kind of want to talk about a little bit more in detail. Oh man, I really gotta stay hydrated here. I'm just absolutely going through it right now. But for this week, I think we could start with the real elephant in the room. Monday, kicking off the week, was Pokemon Day. Yeah, very strange, because I could have sworn Pokemon Day was usually always on a weekend, which is strange because I did go to a local Pokemon convention on, I think it was last Saturday. So what was that, the 26th? 26th? The 25th. It was the 25th of February. And, I actually had a really good time. Shout outs to Minnesota PokeCon. They held a PokeCon mini, and this was their second one. So it's like a more smaller scale con. It was held in more of a medium-sized hotel ballroom, I guess. Small size, medium size, I suppose. This was the second one they've done, the second mini con they've done. I went to their first main convention. Well, at least I wasn't there for that long, but I checked it out, and I missed their first mini con. So this is my first actual mini con that I've been to, that they've hosted, and this is their second mini con that they've hosted. I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect when it comes to mini conventions, but as far as what I've seen or I saw, I mean, it was a pretty big success. There's a lot of people there. almost every single gaming station was full. They had Pokemon games, console games from Stadium to Coliseum to Gales to Pokken to Puzzle League, everything. Legends of Arceus, everything was there. Minus the handheld stuff, there's, you bring your own handheld stuff, but there's a lot of stuff. Hey You Pikachu, a lot of stuff. It was a pretty cool con. It was pretty chill. I went by myself, was able to chill and chat with people for a little bit, and most importantly, I was able to pick up some Pokemon TCG singles for crazy cheap. That was the highlight for me. One of the vendors there was selling cards for, I'm talking about staples right now, like meta staples for single digit prices. Like it was crazy. It was stupid cheap. I was looking through those binders and I was like, do they know they're selling things for this cheap? They know they're selling things for this cheap. Now, this is coming from somebody who, so I buy my cards normally off of, I know this is probably, I shouldn't even be getting into this, but I buy my cards normally off of Cool Stuff Inc. And I've been buying my cards there since, when did I start buying cards there? I want to say 2018 is when I started buying my cards on Cool Stuff. I originally started my collection, or I originally started buying cards and singles and stuff for like tournaments from Troll and Toad, because they were at the first regionals I ever went to. They were a vendor there, and I just bought cards from them while I was there, and then, eventually I just started ordering stuff from their online website. But eventually moved over to Cool Stuff because I noticed their prices were cheaper, and I've purchased so much from that website that I have, like, I think every order for like $30 or more that I buy on singles, I get like 20 to 30% off or something. It's something really crazy. That I mean, that racked up. But even then, like, even the cards that I got at the con, like, the prices were cheaper than what Cool Stuff offers. I was like, I'm getting a steal, and I don't have to pay for shipping, and I can get them now. I was like, oh, nah. So I went in, I spent some money on cards that I wasn't really planning on spending, but I mean, if I would have just passed, that would have been a crazy missed opportunity for sure, and would have ended up wasting more money later down the line, getting them from somewhere else. So that was a dub for me. But anyway, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, because we're supposed to be talking about Pokemon Day and the Pokemon Presents, which is really not too much to talk about, because this was one of the most disappointing. I think this was probably the most disappointing Pokemon Day direct or video presentation, whatever you want to call it. I think it's probably one of the most disappointing ones they've ever had. And I think this was the first one since COVID, maybe the one last year they did this for, but I think it might have been the first one since before COVID, that they've hosted like live, like a meetup for live at the Nintendo store in New York. I was just like, man, that sucks for everybody who came out to that thing, just to be disappointed by this lackluster presentation. Let's just dive into this, and I've got some descriptions for some of the stuff, for some of the stuff that was announced, because I don't even care to put it into my own words, so I'm just gonna read off some of the stuff off of the website. But I guess we could start with Pokemon Sleep. So Pokemon Sleep, like, obviously was probably the main thing that I was looking forward to, simply because they just left us super curious about the thing the first time they announced it, I guess, which was, I don't even know how many years ago. Was that 2018? I think that was around the time the Let's Go games came out. Had to have been like 2018 or maybe 2017. Might have even been 2019, but it was before the 2020s. So this was like the main thing I was really looking for them to talk about. And, they finally did. They finally revealed it, and they finally detailed it. And oh my God, is this thing like the biggest waste? I don't even know why they spent this many years waiting to reveal this thing. Now, perhaps because I haven't even gone back to look at any information about this since the presentation. Perhaps what I took from the trailer that they showed during the presentation was completely wrong, but what I took from it was this is nothing but just a glorified alarm clock app, Pokemon alarm clock app that somehow, I don't know, somehow tracks how you slept. I mean, how does it do that? There's nothing attached to you. In the trailers, it showed people put their phone on their tables. Like, how does it know? How does it even know that you're moving? Let me read the description, because maybe this is going to detail it a little bit better. This is off the official Pokemon website. Let's see. We were treated to a look at the long-awaited Pokemon Sleep, which is coming later this year. In this game, you work together with Professor Neroli. What kind of name is that? And Snorlax to research the way Pokemon sleep. And to do so, all you need to do is get a good night's sleep. By leaving your smartphone by your pillow, when you go to bed, your sleep will be measured and analyzed. Okay, so you're supposed to leave the phone on your bedding. Gotcha. Your sleep will be categorized into one of 3 sleep types. Oh, I'm sorry. By leaving your smartphone by your pillow when you go to bed, your sleep will be measured and analyzed. Your sleep will be categorized into one of 3 sleep types, and Pokemon that sleep in similar ways will gather around Snorlax. Okay. Okay. All right. To aid in your research, the new Pokemon Go Plus accessory can be used with Pokemon Sleep. This handy device operates with the push of a button, and it can measure your sleep data when it's placed by your pillow. There's also a Pikachu within the Pokemon Go Plus that can sing lullabies for you. Okay, that's annoying. The more sleep you get together, the friendlier this Pikachu will become. You can even unlock new alarm sounds as you grow, as your bond grows. Pokemon Sleep is planned to launch in summer 2023. The Pokemon Go Plus gives a release in July 14th, 2023. You'll enjoy waking up each day to see which Pokemon sleep styles you can discover. That's all it is. That's all it is. Which, when I think about it, I mean, what more could it have really been? Like, I don't know. Like, I guess I was expecting something. I guess I was expecting it to be something like that one thing they announced for, was it the Wii they announced it for a long time ago, where it's supposed to like measure your heart rate? I can't remember what that was called, but I guess I was expecting it to be something like that, where maybe, I don't know, you put like maybe there'd be an accessory. So we have the Go Plus, but I guess if I would have known that beforehand, but didn't know what the Go Plus did, I probably would expect you like clip it onto your shirt or something, or I don't know, strap it onto your wrist, and it like, I don't know, just measures your heart rate or something while you're sleeping. Like, I don't know. Like, in a perfect world, it'd be cool for them to have something like this, and it like tracks your REM. That would be cool. I guess that's what I ultimately wanted something like this to be, but I mean, it would never be that. So it's just like, I don't even know what would can I even be mad? Because like, what did I even expect? Like, of course it's gonna be this. Of course it's gonna be that. I don't know. Seems okay. Will I try it? Probably not. Not that I know exactly what it is. On top of that, I don't really care for a Pikachu trying to sing me to sleep. The alarm sounds sound like they're going to be crazy annoying, so I probably won't try it, especially since the Go Plus is so heavily, it seems like it's so heavily included, like you need to use it. So yeah, probably be a pass for me. But that was like the main thing that they talked about. There are some other things that I'm going to touch on. Give me a quick second. I gotta stay hydrated. let's just go on to another big one because I'm telling you, this other stuff, a lot of this other stuff they touched on, complete waste of time. Here's something. So they're trying to get more money out of us. Pokemon trading card game classic. So this was interesting. I was actually crazy confused for a like when they first started this trailer. I had a feeling it was going to be like them, just like a glorified trailer for a Pokemon trading card game on the Nintendo Switch Online. But they're re-releasing the classic Pokemon trading card game cards again. But this time they're trying to get money out of you, even more money out of you. So it is the base set all over again. However, it's more of like a premium, it's more of like a premium collection. It comes with like this game board and like the specific, well, let me just read the description. The Pokemon Presents gave Pokemon TCG fans an exciting glimpse at the upcoming Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic, a premium Pokemon TCG set created as a joint production by the design firm Nendo Creatures and the Pokemon Company. This gorgeous set, currently scheduled for release in late 2023, is meant to last a lifetime. You'll get another peek at it during this year's Pokemon World Championships. So yeah, it's it's really what it is. It's a premium classic Pokemon TCG set. So what it includes, a game board that folds up to store all the items, including Pokemon Trading Card Game Classic. So I'm assuming it comes with every single card from the classic series, a toolbox, or from the base set, not everything, just base set. That's it. A toolbox for storing stackable damage counters, poison and burn markers, and metal orbs. 3 Pokemon TCG decks feature. Okay, so it comes with 3 decks featuring Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise, as well as newly printed cards to go along with the classics. I'm not sure what that means. 3 boxes featuring energy symbols matching the included Pokemon TCG decks. And then yeah, that's about it. Stackable damage counters. At the center of the toolbox, you'll be able to roll these metal orbs with a small chute. If the orb lands in a white border hole, it's treated as heads. What? And if it lands in a black border hole, it's treated as tails. Oh, you'll never need to scrounge for dice or coins. Okay, I see. Well, yeah, just make us pay for this board, right? Because, coin flipping and all that other stuff was so bad. We hated it. So we'll buy this. Give me a break. Give me a break. Yeah. If it's not obvious enough already, I'm not like crazy happy about this. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Moving on. Is there anything else worth talking about from this presentation? I gotta say. I guess we could touch on the new Scarlet and Violet DLC. So they announced, actually, here's something really interesting. So they announced, this is probably going to diverge into another lengthy rant. I don't know, maybe I'll save that for later because there's also another news topic that kind of connects to this in a slight way. But so they announced 2 separate DLCs for Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So the first DLC, The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. Well, I guess this DLC is split into 2 parts. I'm assuming there's going to be like a second DLC for the game, but the DLC they announced is called The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero. It's split into 2 parts. Part 1, the Teal Mask. Well, I'll read the description. It says, Part 1, the Teal Mask has you visiting the land of Kitakami on a school trip and will release... Oh, that's Part 2. No. That's Part 1. Wait, really? This Part 1 is coming out in fall 2023? Fall? Dude, they really have people waiting forever. That's crazy. And then Part 2, the Indigo Disc, will see you become an exchange student at Blueberry Academy. and is slated for winter 2023. During these adventures, you'll encounter some familiar Pokemon that you hadn't seen in Paldea, as well as newly discovered legendary Pokemon, Ogerpon and Terrapago. I don't even know what that is. Don't flame me. I haven't finished. I haven't finished Violet yet. I've barely even started. I've barely scratched the surface on the game. I don't know what any of this stuff is aside from the terrestrial or whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Terrestrial eyes. I only know what that is. Everything else, I'm not caught up enough. I'm really not caught up enough. But yeah, so they announced 2 DLCs. They also announced something that was available a little bit more immediately. 2 raid battles featuring a redesigned model of Suicune, I guess, or like a new Suicune form and a new Virizion form. So they called the Dragon type Pokemon Walking Wake. Wait. Water and Dragon type Pokemon Walking Wake. While those playing Pokemon Violet will find grass and Psychic type Pokemon Iron Leaves. So Walking Wake is like a Dragon type Suicune redesign, and Iron Leaves is like this metallic metal, I guess, type Virizion. And they're available in Terra raid battles right now. So I mean, that's what they had to announce for people playing the games today. Like that's your new content until fall this year. Enjoy 2 freaking Terra raid battles. Hopefully that'll hold you over. I'm sure there'll be more stuff coming like this year, like before the DLC drops, but I mean, that was it. Like, I cannot believe they drop a presentation and don't have anything else to share until the fall. Like, that's crazy. Like, I get the game just came out, but I don't know. It still blows my mind a little bit. Just a little bit. Let's see, I'm scrolling through all this stuff just to see if there's anything else worth checking out. So what I did want to touch on real quickly, because I'm probably going to mention it again later, was there was a leak. So before the presentation, somebody over on 4chan actually leaked, and I think it's been verified now that like this wasn't a repost of the original poster or anything. It was verified and confirmed that's before the presentation took place, somebody accurately leaked pretty much everything that was announced for as far as Scarlet Violet stuff goes, including the Terra raid battles, the DLC part 1 and 2 of it, as well as the release windows. And this person also said that there's going to be a graphics enhancement sort of patch coming alongside part 2 of the DLC, which will be instated for a new Nintendo Switch model. And this is huge news because I think this has gone under the radar for a lot of people. Like, we've been hearing rumors about a new Switch model. We've been hearing new rumors about a next gen Nintendo system for a while. Honestly, I don't think the Switch is going anywhere. I really don't. I really don't think they're going to I really don't think they're going to debut a new hardware device or a next gen hardware device anytime soon. They're saying that the Switch is in the middle of its life cycle, I think is what they said, this year, or was it like very late last year? They said something like Nintendo made some sort of statement about it being in the middle of its life cycle, which really makes you think, how much longer does the system really have? So the middle, I still think, so it's been 6 years, which sounds about right, because originally I could have sworn that the Switch was supposed to be a 10-year plan. So yeah, we're about in the middle, which makes sense. And I could definitely see a more beefier, more powerful Switch coming sometime soon that will, I mean, if they're able to get something a little bit more powerful out, maybe retail it for $400, $350. No, wait. $350 is the price of the OLED. $400 or $450. Probably $450. That's a little steep. I can see $429.99. But if they were able to do something like that, I think that could easily push the Switch's life cycle for another 6 years, 5, 6 years, and they'll be able to hit that 10-year mark that they originally wanted to. I think by that point, even 3 years would probably be enough. I think 3 years would be the sweet spot. I honestly think 4 years is kind of pushing it. 4 years plus is pushing it, but I think, I think a new model that's a little bit more powerful would be perfect. There's something I'm gonna touch on later too. That's has to do with more Switch rumors, but I'll leave it there for now. I'm still scrolling through this presentation stuff. You know, they announced a Pokemon Concierge, like a Netflix series. It's in claymation, so what do they call that one show with the dog? It's like a claymation show with the dog and like this guy. Was it Wallace and Gromit? It's just the Wallace and Gromit freaking type of show, dude. Like something none of us asked for. Utilizing groundbreaking stop motion animation to tell a new story within the world of Pokemon. Set at the Pokemon Resort, the series follows Haru, the resort's concierge, and the many Pokemon to visit as guests. You know, it's coming in the future. I really feel like after, I really feel like they had an opportunity to really give people what they want when it comes to like Pokemon media. I feel like they really had an opportunity to deliver with something crazy good after, you know, they depart from, you know, Ash's story and everything. And it just seems like none of this is anything close to what we want. I mean, the new series, the new Journey series, I think it's called Journey's Ultimate. What is it called? I don't even know. The new Journey series with the Scarlet and Violet series just looks like they dropped the ball on that, and then they have this. It's like, come on, dude, this is not what we want. Like they've seen how big, how much of a positive response they've gotten from the Generations shorts that they were doing on YouTube, and then somehow they took that and they were like, all right, claymation, here you guys go. That's what you wanted, right? It's like, no, nobody asked for this. So, you know, there's that. Pretty much everything else is very filler. Zacian's coming to Pokemon Unite. Pokemon Masters EX is getting, you know, new characters and a bunch of other stuff you're gonna have to spend money on. Pokemon Cafe Remix. Did it get announced, or is it like just like new oh yeah, Chef Greninja's in, like just blah blah blah. I guess the only other thing worth touching on is so they talked a little bit about the 2023 Worlds, Pokemon World Championships. They released an artwork. It's pretty cute artwork. Pikachu holding a ramen bowl and some noodles. Coco eating some ramen. What's the fire type's name? Anyway, he's got a rice ball in his hand. It's very Japanese inspired, obviously, because World is in Japan this year, August 11th to the 13th at the Pacifico, Yokohama, in Yokohama, Japan. Flagship games are Scarlet and Violet, the TCG, obviously, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Unite. So, same games as last year. No Pokken. Pokken era is over for now, but honestly, this is this is the only Worlds location I've really ever cared for. It's the first one, I guess, that they've ever had in Japan, which is a surprise to me because I would have bet money that they've held one in Japan before, but I guess not. It's never been in Japan before. Like, what? That's crazy. They've never had a Worlds in Japan. Like, man, that's actually wild. But yeah, apparently this is the first Worlds in Japan, so that's gonna be interesting. Hopefully since it's in Japan, hopefully the production is at least for the TCG stuff, hopefully the production is on like Japan TCG coverage sort of level, because their production for their TCG events compared to what we get in the States and pretty much everywhere else is, it's tiers above what we have. I'm talking camera angles that really let you see into players' hands and everything, but we don't have anything like that over here. Oh no, we ain't got nothing like that. So hopefully because this is in Japan, they have whoever's running Japan regionals or whatnot over there. Hopefully the same people are doing production for Worlds, because that would be sick. But anyway, that's pretty much everything from that Pokemon Presents. I already spent way too much time talking about that. My goodness, it's been a while. Just spent a beefy amount of time talking about that. But that was pretty much the highlight. Or I don't want to call it a highlight, because it definitely was not that. But that was one of the bigger things that happened this week. Probably the biggest thing that happened this week. Pretty much all slow news this week, really. Not too much else to touch on. Let's see if there's any last minute things. Like, I always make notes, of course, before I record these. But yeah, this week has been crazy slow. A lot of stuff that I wanted to touch on actually happened last week. Which we've got some news regarding Microsoft and Nintendo. Some exciting news. I don't know if we should be excited, but whether you like it or not, it's happening. So if you guys remember, there was an era, a Wii U era. I know we don't speak of it. People don't like talking about the Wii U. I love talking about the Wii U era, because in my honest opinion, the Wii U era was the first time that I really felt like I had a proper, like, next-gen piece of Nintendo hardware in my hands. I'm talking that thing could do everything. It couldn't do everything well, but it could do everything. It could do everything that I pretty much ever wanted out of a Nintendo system. You had Miiverse. You can message your friends. I'm talking write messages, write letters to people you have added on your Switch. You had voice chat. You had video chat. Did we have party invites? I don't think we didn't have party invites. Okay, we didn't have party invites. That's the one we didn't have, but technically you could invite people because you could just send them a message on Miiverse like, hey, get on this game, let's play. So it had most of the things that you would want out of it. It even had a built-in Ethernet port for LAN. It had most of the things that you would want out of a next-gen Nintendo system. And at the time, the graphics for the platform were not that bad. Like, they were definitely a step up from the Wii. It just felt like the Wii U was just built different, man. It was just built different. And when the Switch came along, we really kind of just stopped. Like, let's be honest, the Switch is a portable system. Like, it is a handheld portable system. I think when that thing came out, none of us were really concerned about playing that thing docked. We were all concerned about, hey, how long is the battery going to last when I got to take this out of my house? How does this game run in handheld mode, etc., etc. I don't even know where I'm going with this. The Wii U, anyway, was the last time that we had a Call of Duty game on a Nintendo platform. It was the last time. Call of Duty Ghosts, I think it was, which was the one COD that I didn't play. I've played every other Call of Duty game at least once. Ghosts, I have not touched a single time. I pointed the note because Microsoft and Nintendo struck a deal last week to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo platforms for the next 10 years. Huge deal. Huge deal. What does this mean for Sony? I don't know. Who knows? Who cares? they've been all stingy lately. You know, they want to be they want to be all finiskety about things. Who cares about them? As far as I know, nothing really is going to happen. Call of Duty is going to come to PlayStation platforms still, but right now, where things stand, Call of Duty will launch on Xbox and Nintendo platforms at the same time. So whether that means Sony starts getting COD later or not, I have no idea. Either way, Microsoft and Nintendo are now going to be getting CODs at the exact same time. I'll read a quick excerpt from an article, if I can find proper quotes. I did write a piece on this, but I don't want to read mine. Definitely don't want to read mine because it's just more ranting, to be very honest. Let's see if I can find a quick little summary. You know what? Actually, maybe I will read mine because I think I have direct quotes in mine, whereas these other ones don't. If I can find it. I may as well read mine. So, Microsoft has officially revealed that the Call of Duty franchise going forward will now arrive on Nintendo platforms as a 10-year deal has officially been signed as steps towards bringing Xbox games to Nintendo platforms. The deal was initially struck back in December. However, it seems all has officially been signed and finalized now with this more recent announcement. Wait a second. Why is this in? I'm glad that I caught this because there's like some unwanted text in my stuff. What the heck? Where did that come from? Anyway, I'll have to go back to the heck. Anyway, Microsoft has been making very big moves in the industry as of late with intents to bring Xbox titles to Nintendo platforms, a recent Game Pass partnership with Riot Games, and of course the more infamous Activision slash Blizzard $68.7 billion acquisition that is yet to be finalized and has been making very big waves in the news cycles as of recent. It's definitely going to be very interesting to see what shape Call of Duty takes on, say, the Nintendo Switch platform, as we all know very well that the Switch console itself is not nearly as powerful as the other platforms currently running the most recent Call of Duty games. But perhaps Microsoft knows something about future Nintendo hardware that we don't. Either way, we can only hope that access to these sort of deals and titles will sort of force Nintendo's hand to make better, more competent hardware. The last Call of Duty title released on a Nintendo platform was Call of Duty Ghosts back in 2013 on the Wii U. I really want to figure out where this unwanted text came from. Like, am I being hacked? Am I being hacked? Like, there's just no way this crap just showed up out of nowhere. There's just no way. Anyway, without getting too sidetracked though, that was the other thing that I kind of want to touch on, which was the potential of this deal being signed because they know a next gen, or I don't want to say next gen, like I don't want to use next gen. I guess a hardware revision is sort of coming for the Switch. I just find it hard to believe that COD is gonna run on a normal Nintendo Switch. I mean, we have COD Mobile, sure, maybe COD Mobile, but definitely not Warzone or Modern Warfare 2. And I mean, even whatever, what's the Call of Duty game coming in? Yeah, there is unwanted text in here. Where did this come from? Why is this here? Like, what? Oh, nah. I really hope that's not, like, in all of my posts. I can't believe I'm getting sidetracked by this. I definitely cannot have this here. Very weird. Yeah, I think there's some, like, security issues happening with my site, but... Yeah, I do think it's a very strange deal to be struck. When the people over at Microsoft know the technological capabilities of the Nintendo Switch. Like, they're not stupid. They know what the system can and cannot handle. So I just find it weird that this sort of deal would be struck if there wasn't something, in down the pipeline, perhaps coming very soon, that would ensure their Call of Duty games will run at least at a stable frame rate on their hardware. I really do think that this deal, I guess we could say, I really do think that this deal, there's a little bit more than meets the eye, because like I said, we had that Pokemon presentation leaker talk about a revised Switch system, and now we have this deal to bring COD to Nintendo platforms. Like, do you really expect, like, okay, a new COD is going to drop at least not this year, but next year for sure. 2024, we're going to get a new COD. So do you expect me to believe that a Call of Duty that's going to be way more graphic intensive, way more, advanced, you expect me to believe that that's going to run on the Switch? Like, come on, dude. They definitely have something in store for sure. Nintendo definitely has some sort of new hardware up their sleeve, whether it's a next gen system or a simple Switch revision. They have something in store that's going to be released between this year, I would say late this year, and I guess fall next year, before the next COD drops, because it's supposed to. I mean, the deal is that it's supposed to drop on Nintendo platforms at the same time. Now, could they go the cloud gaming route? Yeah, they could do that too. But from the sounds of this, from the sounds of the deal, it's not cloud gaming. It's actual Call of Duty, like, is going to be released on the Switch itself, or on Nintendo platforms themselves, like we once knew. So it'll be really interesting to see. And not only that, but they also mentioned that they're trying to bring more Xbox games to the Switch. Now, what form that will take, I have no idea. I have no idea about that. Now, that's probably going to be more cloud-based, but again, even for some of these more recent Xbox titles, like, good luck. Good luck getting those to run. You will need cloud gaming, because I don't know how them things are going to run on the Switch. There's just no way. There's just no way, unless they have new hardware up their sleeve. So moving on past that, we've got Sony State of Play, February 2023 highlights. So there was a State of Play last week also. I'm telling you, last week was a big week. I did stream this State of Play. It was a little bit disappointing because it was mostly just more VR stuff. So I didn't include any of that in my highlights, but they wanted to make VR the focus of it. But honestly, I'm pretty sure VR is what people cared about the least about this State of Play. But the first thing on my list for highlights were the final 3 characters for Street Fighter 6 were properly revealed. They had like a one long trailer that revealed Zangief, Lily, and Cammy. Loved the new designs for Zangief and Cammy. I mean, Zangief is a lot of the same. I think Cammy probably had the best character redesign. You already know why, but I mean, but Zangief looks great too. I love how Zangief looks. I've become more of a Zangief fan as of recent, because I've just, what was the game? Ever since I started playing Potemkin in Guilty Gear Strive, it's just sparked my interest in grapplers. I used to never play grapplers at all, but now it's like every new fighting game that comes out, I'm gonna be looking for whoever's the grappler. Pretty much. Like, I've dabbled with that grappler person, the big muscled wrestler in Granblue Versus. That's one of my favorite characters, and I did start to learn Zangief in SF5 for a little bit, but I've quickly, like, the character's complete dog water in Street Fighter 5. Oh my god, he's so bad. He's so freaking bad. Like, all the frustrations I've had with fighting Zangief in that game are gone. Like, I understand how he works now, and, like, it's just, I don't know if I will ever lose to a Zangief player again. I mean, maybe I will, because I'm super impatient. Like, you have to play lame against him, but for the most part, you have to play lame against him, because he can't just, I mean, mashed EX command grabs can work if you're not careful. Or if you have the slightest opening, you can get command grab, but I mean you get mixed, but the character is really actually just really bad. Like, you can lame him out pretty well. The character sucks. But so either way, he's looking a lot better in Street Fighter 6. So either way, I cannot wait to try him out in Street Fighter 6. Lily looks okay. I guess I was kind of expecting more. I don't really know what I was expecting, because for some reason it seems like she's less of a grappler than T-Hawk was. I guess I was expecting her to be a lot more similar to T-Hawk, but the more that I watched, like, the second time I watched her gameplay trailer, or I guess her section on the trailer reveal, or on the character reveal, I guess she kind of does just play more like a flashier T-Hawk, really. Like, I didn't see any command grabs outside of the super or the critical, what do they call it? I don't remember what they call it in this game. I'm gonna still call it critical art or the super. I didn't see any, like, actual command grab moves. I might have missed it. But she has, like, more flashy, like, Falcon dives and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I guess she is similar to T-Hawk in some ways. I just didn't see it at first because of how flashy it all is now. But, yeah, because, like, T-Hawk in the last game he was in 4, he was not flashy character at all. he's probably one of the more bland characters, actually, that came in Super Street Fighter 4. Like, he's definitely one of the more bland characters, 100%. Which is actually funny. And then Cammy, of course, you know, her redesign got everybody thirsting like crazy. Yeah, Cammy's crazy, but really, like, if there's any character who looks exactly the same as, like, their previous iterations as far as moveset goes, it's 100% Cammy. Like, everything is the same. Everything is the same. Character plays the same. Character's probably easily going to be A tier or high tier. Like, once she drops 100%, like, Cammy's going to be exactly the same. But the redesigns are cool. So, you know, obviously Street Fighter 6 is going to be at the top of my list for highlights for state of play. And then they touched on Resident Evil 4 Remake, which was cool, because I've never really been into Resident Evil. But I think I remember saying when I was streaming the presentation, I think I remember saying that if there was a game that would get me into Resident Evil, it would probably be this one. I've seen gameplay of the original Resident Evil 4 before, but this one, for everything, just looks so good. It looks so much better. So I actually might give it a try, but I don't know. I just feel like Resident Evil is just so weird. I just feel like it's so weird. It's like, you got all these different characters. The story doesn't always connect with, like, yeah, there's Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The stories don't always connect. It's just, I don't know. It's hard for me to get into stuff like that. It's like a different story every time, for the most part. I don't know. So I don't know. But the game looks really good. Baldur's Gate 3 was another thing they touched on that I thought was pretty cool. It's coming to the PS5. Baldur's Gate is like this RPG that I've always wanted to play ever since I first saw it. Ever since I first saw somebody stream it. I think it might have either been Day 9 or it was his brother on Twitch. But ever since I saw the game, I was like, dude, this looks so freaking sick. But I think it's supposed to be played with a group, sort of like Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm not sure. But either way, it's coming to console. I wouldn't play the console version anyway, but it coming to PS5 is a pretty big deal, I think, for sure, because it's PC only right now, as far as I know. And this last one is probably the most interesting. It's probably the most interesting announcement they made. It's a game called Goodbye Volcano High. And when the trailer first started, I was like, what the heck am I looking at? What is this furry, like, animal high school game? But as the trailer went on, I was like, oh god, I think I might actually like this game. I'm ashamed to like it, man. I'm ashamed to like it. But yeah, the closest I could describe it is like a edgy emo kid, and can I even call it that? Emo animal kid high school elite beat agents meets Parappa the Rapper sort of game. It's not rap. They're like animals in a high school, and they're in a band. It's like a rhythm game, really. It's like a rhythm game, but more like Osu style, elite beat agent style. But it's rock. It's not hip hop. And yeah, I guess it's just about like this band of animals in high school who are, I mean, they're making music and they're preparing for the end of the world because of the, you know, the meter's finna hit. That's what I gathered from it, but I thought it was, I mean, in its own weird way, it was kind of adorable. Like, I like the character designs. They're all like very emo punkish, so obviously I would like stuff like that. But yeah, that one stuck out to me. I don't know when it's coming out. I don't think there was a release date for it. Obviously, it's some sort of indie game, but I think there's a pretty good chance that I'll actually stream that game. Oh man, like I hate that I like it is the thing. Like I tend to stray away from, outside of Animal Crossing, I tend to stray away from games that are like centered around like animals, like how do I describe it, like humanoid sort of animal stuff. Like I tend to just avoid that stuff like the plague, because it's usually either really cringy or the communities associated with it are really cringy and weird. But this one actually looks like I would like, so I'll probably give it a shot. And that's pretty much everything from the Sony State of Play. There is actually another presentation coming up very soon. Next week, Capcom is holding their own little presentation. And I think if I could pull it up here, I didn't put this one in my notes, but I think if I could pull it up here, I can find exactly what the main stuff they're going to be touching on. I know Street Fighter 6 for some reason isn't a part of it. Yeah, so they're doing their own little spotlight presentation next week. It's on March 9th. That's next week, right? When is that? Oh yeah, it's on Thursday. Okay, so actually, I don't know for sure, because there's a pre-show and then there's a main show. They have a lot. I guess they're going to be showing a lot. I guess they got a lot to show off. Huh. It would be really weird if they don't touch on anything Street Fighter, but at the same time, they did just release, I guess, the final character reveals for Street Fighter. So, I guess just don't. I'm just not going to expect any Street Fighter. But yeah, so we have Monster Hunter Rise, Mega Man Battle Network Collection, Exoprial, I don't know, Ghost Trick, and did I say Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil 4 again? So I guess those are kind of going to be the main stuff they're going to be focusing on. Let me see if there's anything else. I guess that's it, pretty much. Yeah, it's just like latest information about their 2023 lineup. 26 minutes of updates. I just feel like they spent so much time like focusing on Street Fighter now that like a lot of other stuff sort of needs attention. So I don't think it was a touch on Street Fighter. Maybe they'll do a quick little snippet, but I mean, what else is there to reveal? I guess they could talk about the story mode. They haven't talked about that at all, actually. This would be a really good time for them to touch on that. They haven't talked about the story mode really. So maybe that. Maybe they could even announce like a new beta for 6, like a third beta on the way at some point. That'd be interesting. Would be cool too if they announced, hey, we're gonna be at PAX. Probably not. Probably not. But yeah, so this is happening next week. So that'll be at least something to talk about in next week's episode, because I feel like next week is gonna be a very slow week compared to this one. Also because like a lot of stuff I'm talking about this week is just stuff from last week and a little bit of stuff from this week, so it feels like a lot, but really nothing happened this week as far as announcements go. Like nothing really big happened. But yeah, so that's something to look forward to at least for next week from Capcom. Last thing for today, I guess, that I wanted to touch on, and this one happened last week as well. I think at the beginning of the week, EVO Evolution Tournament Series 2023 lineup. They did a whole stream for it. Announced every game that's gonna be at this year's EVO. You know, EVO. Oh, EVO. Where'd I even begin? Where do I even begin with EVO, dude? I used to watch every single EVO like it was the season finale for some crazy show. I used to watch every single EVO. I would try and get all the EVOs off, EVO weekends off. Especially when I was first getting into fighting games, I would watch all the EVOs, root for all my favorite players. I haven't sat and watched an EVO since, man, I don't even know. It's been forever since I've been invested in EVO. I think the last time that I've actually sat and watched an EVO from start to finish was maybe I think it had to have been the year Street Fighter 6 came out. 2016. It had to have been. Wait, was that 2016? Yeah, it was 2016. Had to have been 2016. And then I think I watched it again. I watched a decent chunk of it again when Problem X, I think he won EVO that year, didn't he? I think it was when Problem X won. M. Bison player from the UK. I think that was 2018 when that happened. But that was the last time I watched EVO from start to finish. It kind of sucks because, like, thinking back, EVO used to be just like this huge thing that I was just like super into, because I was just crazy into like any fighting game. I just get so hype. I've just fallen so far from grace. Not only that, but a lot of these games I don't care. Well, I shouldn't say a lot of these games I don't care about. I guess a lot I just don't play actively, and that's probably why I can't really get into them as much. I'm not super thrilled about the cast of games this year, but it's pretty much the same as last year, minus a few titles. So I guess we could start with the flagship. Obviously, is going to be Street Fighter 6. I think that's one thing to just crazy look forward to throughout the rest of the year, or I guess June onwards, especially like for fighting games. It's just going to be like, it's going to be really nice to watch. It's just a good time to get back into watching fighting games. It's be a good time to like watch majors again. Like, I think I was talking about this during the stream I was doing for the EVO 2023 reveal. It's just like, I feel like a lot of the majors that happen, like ECT and DTN and Texas Showdown and Final Round and stuff like that, Winter Brawl, I don't like, it just feels like they all just fell off the face of the earth. Like, it just feels like they're not a big deal anymore. But when these new flagship fighters come out, it's like it breathes new life into these events. It's like if you're not there, you have to watch it, because it's like, it's your first time. It's like seeing high level play for these new games. Like, it's fresh. So it's like you're kind of forced to watch this stuff, and it's just a good time to get back into it. So everything's gonna be super interesting. So it's gonna be such a good time to like kind of go back and, I don't know, I don't want to say reminisce, but sort of revitalize that interest in all these events that used to be such a huge deal. It feels like before, I guess before esports went mainstream, quote unquote, or I guess before fighting games aren't even mainstream, but now it's just like, yeah, I don't even know. When you think about it, like, a lot of this stuff is not mainstream. Like I think maybe the big thing is everything has its own league now. That's kind of what has taken away the hype from these more grassroots events. It's everything has its own league now. Like Dragon Ball Fighter Z, they got their own league. Tekken has their Tekken league. I'm going through all the games, but like Arxis and their games, they have their own league. SNK, they have their own like little thing. Let's just get into the games. Street Fighter 6 flagship game. Obviously, it's gonna be really hype to see all the competition. EVO announced that they're doing, I think, top 6 this year instead of top 8. They're not doing top 8 for games anymore. It's top 6, and minimum prize pool for every game is 25K, I believe is what they said. Was it 250K or was it 25K? Let me double check on that. Evolution 2023. It had to have been 25K. 25K, or was it 250K? I love how it's so difficult to find. Why is it so difficult? Here we go. I'm looking. Wait, apparently I missed the game. Wait, what? Am I looking at the right thing? Wait. I missed a game in my lineup in my notes. Oh. I did. Okay, my height levels have sort of returned. I missed a lot. What? I missed a lot of stuff. What the heck? I missed a lot of reveals. How did I miss all this during the actual stream? I'm surprised. I'm over here trying to find the prize pool information. I'm like discovering all this other stuff that I had no idea about. Like, what the heck? Where is the prize pool information? I'm on the official EVO. Like, I want to get it right. Let me see. Let me follow your account too. I guess maybe they don't have... Did they not tweet about it? I don't think they tweeted about it. Yeah, I don't think they tweeted about it. Huh. No, I'm not seeing it. The fact that they said free water is gonna be at like, come on, dude, are you serious? And yeah, this is the thing. Like, this is the joke, but it's also not a joke. Like, I joke about it, but it's also not a joke, is that I will never ever go to an EVO for as long as it's held in Vegas. I will never go. Ever. I cannot imagine being cooped up. I don't care how big that venue is. I can't imagine being cooped up in a building, all them people, hot, in the middle of a freaking desert freaking city, just watching a game. Like, I don't care. Y'all gotta get that crap out of Vegas. Seriously. Move it out. Move it out of Vegas. You have to. You just have to do it. Okay. I can't find information on the prize pool, but I think 25K per game, starting prize pool per game is probably, I think it's probably most reasonable, but I feel like it might have been 250K. I'm pretty sure it was 250K because I think I remember saying like, oh, that's $250,000. I think I remember saying that. So I think maybe it was 250K. I think. Yeah, I think maybe it was 200. I'm gonna place my bets and say it was 250K. Though I'm not 100% sure, but I do believe that it was. Either way, let's get back into the lineup. So, Street Fighter 6 obviously flagship game. Dragon Ball Fighter Z is back. You know, I am not the biggest fan of that game right now. Mostly because it launched with crazy bad online, but hey, it's getting a rollback update this year, so I think any game getting a rollback update this year definitely deserves a spot on the EVO lineup. Especially since Dragon Ball is it's a fan favorite, it's hype, the intros are hype, got dudes screaming and everything. So you love to see it. Tekken 7 is the next game. Probably final year Tekken 7 will be on the lineup because it looks like Tekken 8 might actually drop this year. Like maybe at the end of the year, but I still think it might be a spring 2024 title. But I don't know. Seems like they're kind of rushing to get this game out. Like the information for Tekken 8, it has been coming way faster than Street Fighter 6 info has. Like Street Fighter 6 was announced, like we had the teaser trailer, right? And like, when did that teaser trailer drop? That teaser trailer drop, was it like summer 2022? I think it was in the summer. And then we didn't get any more information until when? Like maybe 6 months later or something. It feels like we didn't start getting information until this year. But I know that's not it because we had a beta in like November or something. That was the first beta. Was like in November. But it feels like info was just so slow until like the back half of last year. And then they started picking up the pace like crazy. But there was definitely like radio silence for a decently long time. Like we had that teaser trailer, and then after that it was just radio silence for a while. Tekken 8, they teased Tekken 8. When did they tease Tekken 8? Like EVO? So they teased Tekken 8 in like EVO last year, which was in August. And then we got gameplay footage like a couple months later, I think. Like a couple months later, was it at the VGAs? I think it was at the VGAs where we got official footage, I think. So not too much longer after, I guess. I think it might have been sooner, but I can't remember. So yeah, Tekken 7, probably the last year Tekken 7 will be on the EVO lineup. Something super interesting, they announced their first annual throwback tournament. So I guess every year they're going to be doing a throwback tournament, sort of a throwback game. This year is going to be Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I don't really see that being a surprise to no one. Marvel 3 has, I don't know, I guess it's been having like a pseudo resurgence, I suppose. Like Marvel 3 is never really dead. That game's going to be around forever until they make Marvel 4. Like eventually Marvel 3 is going, like somebody's going to figure it out outside of Parasec or whatever that client is called. Outside of that, somebody's going to figure out rollback for that game, and it's going to blow up. The online scene for that game is going to blow up, and the offline scene again is going to get even bigger once people crack rollback for that game, dude. Somebody's going to figure out something, and it's going to be crazy. So that's their first annual throwback title, which is, I mean, I'm glad they're doing that because that just opens the window for maybe Street Fighter 4 coming back, King of Fighters 13. Maybe they could even do, what else would I want them to do? CVS 2. They could do Third Strike. I mean, I would really love to see a throwback. Well, I don't know. Like we have, what's this thing called? We have Jazzy Circuit. So I don't really think Third Strike needs to come back since Jazzy Circuit's a thing. But I mean, KOF 13 or Street Fighter 4. That'd be really nice to see. Street Fighter X Tekken even would be cool to see. Because there's no like dedicated classic leagues for those games. Next up, we got Melty Blood Type Lumina. No surprise there for that one. Knew that game was gonna be making its way back. Melty Blood has decent online. Still getting support, still getting new characters, I think. So, yeah, it's still pretty oh my god, I can't talk. Still pretty fresh. So I'm not surprised at all to see that game on the lineup. Next one, Mortal Kombat 11. This is the one that I didn't have in my notes. Somehow I missed Mortal Kombat 11. Which is crazy because I think I might have missed it during the actual stream too. Because I remember being like, no Mortal Kombat, but you know, Mortal Kombat 11 is gonna be there, which is also nice to see because you know now we know that MK12 is coming this year apparently, which is wild. It got leaked during like some investor call or something like that. So it got it wasn't even supposed to be announced yet, but now the whole world knows about it. Like it's not even a rumor anymore. It's 100% coming. Even Ed Boon himself acknowledged the leaked call. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 12 is coming this year. So 11, this will be 11's last year on the lineup for sure, and like obviously next year 12 will be on. So that's really cool to see. And then we've got Guilty Gear Strive. Game's been blowing up. Was the flagship game for last year, I believe Strive was a flagship game for last year. For 2022, and was it the flagship game for 2021? I can't remember, but I think it was a flagship game for one of those years for sure. Obviously not this year, and probably not ever again. So yeah, Guilty Gear Strive still in the lineup, and then closing out, we've got King of Fighters 15. You know, I'm always glad to see KOF get support. Love watching KOF. It's like one of the few 2D fighting games that like I can actually get hype watching, or I still get hype watching. I'm not as big of a fan of the franchise now as I used to be because really like everything past 13, like 14 and 15, I don't know, like I cannot really stand the game visually. 15 obviously looks a little bit better than 14 does, but it's still that similar art style. I just love, like, KOF 13, 98, UM, and 2002 UM are hands down my favorite KOF games. And the ones that I like watching the most. Everything else can kind of kick rocks, but KOF 13 especially, like, man, that game is so hyped to watch, and it's just such a beautiful game. I seriously hope that, you know, it gets its own throwback tournament or something akin to that at some point. And yeah, patiently waiting for them to do a rollback update for that game, because once they do, it's over for me. For the longest time, I've been hoping for that game to get good online, and now we're in the era of rollback. Once that game gets it, man, that's it. Oh, dog is going crazy outside. Think it'll probably be a good time to wrap this up pretty soon, but there are some other EVO stuff that I guess I missed, so I was pretty disappointed. One of the main things I was disappointed about from this EVO reveal was the lack of Grand Blue Fantasy this year. And I guess Grand Blue, it makes sense because like the game's online is trash right now, and even though they did announce Grand Blue versus Rising, still a little bit of ways off. It's also going to be a main game at EVO Japan. Like, I guess that's why I can't really complain, because so the two main games obviously I wanted to be on the lineup for EVO US was Virtua Fighter 5 and Grand Blue, but both of those games are going to be during EVO Japan. So honestly, EVO Japan I'm probably going to watch way more closely than, well, no, I shouldn't say that, because Street Fighter 6 will be out by the time the the US EVO happens, or the main EVO happens. But yeah, those are the games that I really wanted though to be in the US lineup. But apparently I missed this, but they are going to be doing a open beta Grand Blue Fantasy Rising tournament during EVO 2023. I don't know what that means. An open, so is it going to be online or is it going to be in person? Like, that's what I'm confused about. I'm trying to find. Yeah, so this is very strange. It says we'll be holding an open beta tournament for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising at EVO 2023. See you in Vegas. An open beta? Like, I guess when you think beta, you think online, but I suppose it just means they're going to be doing like a beta version of the game at the actual event. So that'll be interesting for sure. Hopefully it's streamed. So yeah, definitely would love to see that. So even though Grand Blue isn't part of the official lineup for the main EVO, it'll I mean, for one, it'll be a part of the lineup for EVO Japan, but they'll be doing an open beta tournament for the sort of like an invitation. Well, not an invitational because it's open to everybody, I guess, but sort of like a demo tournament for Rising. So that'll definitely be exciting to see. That's pretty much it for EVO stuff. You know, this will probably be the first EVO in recent years that I'll pay somewhat attention to, both EVO Japan and EVO US. Just because we have Street Fighter 6 dropping, there's just going to be so many fighting game announcements. There's going to be Tekken 8 announcements. There's going to be Mortal Kombat announcement. Like, everything is just going to be a lot. It's going to be, I keep saying this is going to be a great year for fighting games. Probably the biggest year for fighting games. Assuming Tekken 8 drops this year, this is easily probably the biggest year for fighting games of this decade. So, I mean, we won't get another year like this for a very long time. Like, if it's like the three gods, really. If Mortal Kombat 12 is coming this year, Street Fighter 6 is coming this year. If Tekken 8 comes this year, we probably will never get a year like this for a very long time. It is very, very rare that Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, and Tekken all get new games the same year. Like, that's crazy. I don't even think that happened in PS3, Xbox 360 era. It definitely didn't happen wait, did it happen in 2017? No, Tekken 7 came out in 2017. I think. I have to look this up. Like, Tekken 7 came out after... Wait, what? Talking about this game came out in 2015. Yeah, in arcades. When did this game come out in the US? No, it wasn't February. It was not February 18th. I know that for a fact. June 2nd, 2017. Okay, I was right. June 2nd. Yeah, so Street Fighter 6 came out in February of 2016. Tekken 7 released in the summer a year later. And then I think when did we get Mortal Kombat 11? I think Mortal Kombat 11 dropped. When did that come out? I mean, it definitely wasn't the same year. Now I have to look and see. 2019. Wow, Mortal Kombat 11 actually feels really fresh because it's like almost right before COVID. And then the game just went kind of dark. But okay. Yeah. So that sounds about right. So yeah, I mean, a year where we get Tekken, Street Fighter, and MK all drop in the same year, dude, that's like 3 stars aligning, dude. Like, that's never gonna happen again. If it happens this year, this is gonna be the biggest year for fighting games, literally, in such a long freaking time. Probably ever. Probably ever. It's gonna be a crazy year. Might even have like an episode completely dedicated to that. Anyway, I think it's time to wrap this up. Dog is going crazy outside, probably polluting my audio. This has already been, I guess this is on a shorter end of podcast length, because I think the last couple of episodes have been like 2 hours, but we're hitting that an hour and a half mark, so we'll probably wrap it up here. Very interesting news week. A lot of stuff, a lot of rants. It was crazy. We'll be back at it again next week with, hopefully some interesting stuff gets touched on, because right now it's really looking like next week is going to be pretty slow. I mean, outside of this Capcom presentation, and even then, it's all stuff that, like, they basically just got done talking about anyway. So it's like, I can't even force myself to be really excited. I guess the Mega Man Legacy collections or Battle Network stuff, collection stuff, is kind of interesting. So that's probably the only thing I'm really gonna care about from it. But other than that, you know, we're moving into March. Things are gonna be getting a little bit more interesting from here on out. I mean, I feel like I hiatused my way through through the really slow period as far as news and gaming and stuff is concerned. So, yeah, thank God for that, I guess. But like I said, if weeks are slow, I'll probably spend some time talking about some other topics as well. Some stuff pertaining to some music, perhaps some metalcore stuff. I mean, I do a metalcore reaction series on my YouTube channel, so that was always meant to sort of be a part of this podcast as well. But you know, I've just spent all the past 3 episodes now just talking about gaming related stuff, so we'll have to mix it up very soon. But like I said, we're gonna be aiming for an episode each week this month, maybe hitting up to 10 before we officially kick off season 1 next month. But until then, expect to hear my voice every single week up until then. So that's gonna be it for this one. Thanks for listening, guys. Of course, if you enjoyed it, you can comment below if whatever you're listening on allows you to do that, and if not, make sure you share it. Hit that share button, hit that share link. Let people know, hey, this guy is talking to himself and he does it for a long time. It might not all make sense, but it's something to listen to. I'm out of here, guys. You have a good rest of your week. Peace.